Well, not been looking forward to making this video. I think about all the years we've invested in this relationship. Sometimes we've been close, sometimes we've been distant. But you know, I've got simple needs. You have so much to offer. I just don't know. It's been 15 years. It's been a long time. I know, I've worn you out. It's just not been a smooth ride, has it? But I think it's time to move on. It's time to let go of this. Welcome to All the Gear. No idea. Hi there, I'm Dave, and yes, I'm a terrible actor. This is the wireless Logitech cordless desktop S510 keyboard, and this is the M150 companion mouse that came with it. I purchased this keyboard, I didn't realise this, but I purchased it in February 2006. That's 15 years ago, and that's just amazing that I still have it, it's still going. Always had an issue with the wireless range on this, to the point that it struggles when there's about a 2-foot air gap. I think it was rated in meters, but the best I've ever got is about 2 foot. The receiver has a 1 meter USB cable with a USB plug at one end and also a PS2 mouse connector. That tells you how old it is. I never used the PS2 mouse connector. I can't even remember the last PC I had that had a PS2 mouse socket on it. But to compensate for the short range, I've always had to mount the receiver directly on the desk so that it's never that far away. It's kind of ugly as well, so I've tried to put it underneath the desk near the PC, but no, it sits on top of the desk. It's got a myriad of media buttons on it, but I think I've only ever used volume control and the mute button, and that's been about it. The keys though, they have a nice feel to them. I like typing on it. It's difficult to describe how the keys feel, obviously, but there's quite a lot of travel in each key, and so it's very tactile. It feels great. But as time's gone on, the key legend has worn off, which is not a huge issue for me because I tend to touch type anyway. But in terms of gifting it on to somebody else, my wife actually, but the fact that there are now 13 key legends missing, it's a bit of a challenge. Also, I would say the final straw for me, you know, why haven't I gone on for more than 15 years? I think the final straw for me was when I was doing a client demonstration, and all of a sudden the keyboard demanded to be within about 6 inches of the receiver. So I was kind of stretching across the desk. So it was time to consider technology refresh. So understandably, I was a little wary about the Logitech wireless technology, but I did some research, and most of the reviews all point to the same keyboards. So I settled on and purchased a Logitech MX Keys keyboard from Scan Computers, and this is it here. The keyboard has an inbuilt rechargeable battery. The keyboard comes with built-in backlighting as well, which is very good. It has a USB-C charging socket at the back and comes with a good USB-C cable. Whilst it looks physically smaller than the previous keyboard, the key layout is actually the same dimensions as the old keys. So if you look at the kind of the QWERTY along the top and measure the distance, everything is identical. It feels solid. It weighs about 800 grams. There's quite a bit of weight in this. The keys have a really nice feel to them as well. Talking about keys, it has some really interesting features. One being the ability to switch between computers with a simple key press. There's actually 3 keys here to switch between 3 computers. Not only that, but you can copy paste between these computers. Another feature is the illuminated keys, a feature you can actually switch on and off. The keys illuminate as soon as your fingers get close using a proximity sensor. With the light feature enabled, the battery lasts about 10 days, and without, it's 5 months. Keyboard comes with a tiny USB dongle, the unifying receiver, this is what Logitech call it. It's already paired with this dongle, so the keyboard's already set up and paired, so it really is plug and play, and that's what happened. It has a separate numeric keypad, a key for taking screen snapshots, another key allows you to lock the desktop for a quick getaway, plus all the function keys carry additional functions. Some of these functions include brightness control for the illuminated lights, a volume control, fast forwards, backwards if you're watching videos, task screen on Windows, so really good. I also traded up on the mouse front and bought a Logitech MX Anywhere 3 mouse. I'm not a gamer, so don't need all of the fancy buttons and scroll wheels, so this just has the traditional left, right, scroll wheel and a few buttons. Again, it's rechargeable, like the keyboard. The battery in this lasts for about 70 days on one charge, so that's fantastic. The scroll wheel operates in either ratchet or free spin mode. It can be manually switched between the two. Or if you're in ratchet mode and scroll quickly, it'll automatically switch to free spin mode. But I've configured this to just be on free spin all the time. The mouse can also be programmed with different functions for different applications. And one example of that is, say, with Zoom conferencing, that you can use the 2 side buttons, one to instantly mute and the other button to start and stop the video. So that's great as well. The only issue I had when setting up the mouse was the fact that this, like the keyboard, comes with a USB unifying receiver that it's paired to. So the keyboard is automatically paired to its unifying receiver and the mouse likewise to its own USB dongle. I think a unifying USB receiver can support about 7 devices. So it took me a few minutes to work out that, one, you need to download the Logitech Options application, but once you've done this, pairing is a simple task. You just use the application, the Logitech Options, to add a new device, and in fact you have to add another unifying device. You then restart the mouse by switching the mouse off, then on, and then bosh, it's paired. It then highlights some of the features of the mouse. And then it gives you some options to configure it. I skipped most of these options. So hopefully that was interesting. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing and hitting the notify bell to get notified of the next one. Let me know if you're still using a Logitech S510 and if you've broken my 15-year record. Or perhaps you've got the new Logitech MX Keys keyboard. Let me know how that's working for you and if you've learned anything about it I haven't spoken about. Any questions about the new keyboard, drop me a note in the comments. Any feedback as well on the video, please let me know. And shortly I'll be adding a behind the scenes in the discussion section shortly. Have a great day, see you soon.